All right, so somebody had a follow-up question to, hello cat. My cat loves me. Come here, you. You want to be part of the video? Come on. It's a good girl. Ooh. I know. Okay, so my cat gets to be in the video because she meows so much. So somebody was asking about how does one get started in Enochian? What is Enochian 101? So the main thing I would suggest is if you're interested in Enochian is to do just a little reading on it. Lon Milo Duquette's Enochian Vision Magic is very good. I do recommend him just because it's kind of how I got started with it. You might also consider Aaron Leach's The Essential Enochian Grimoire or any of Scott Stenwick's books on Enochian. But I would really recommend, first and foremost, if you're going to explore it, and let's say all things being equal, start with the Aethyrs, Aethyrs. And I recommend that because that will get you a taste of what the system is like, while also at the same time if you start with the Aethyr of TEX, then it will be relatively gentle for you. I would not recommend starting with one of the higher Aethers. I do recommend starting from the bottom-up approach. Other people have differing opinions. You know, I'm just telling you my experience. If things were not equal, if let's say you're desperate for, if you're desperate for healing, you might consider working with the Angels of Medicine. But more or less, I would say start with the Aethyr of TEX and doing the call to TEX. So in order to do that, you need to look up the Enochian version. You can find this online. In fact, I'll probably drop a link to one of the versions of this online. And you'll find it in the Enochian language, and you're basically just reciting out this long call. If you're proficient at it, it probably takes you 5 minutes. If you're not so proficient, maybe 10 or 15, but it's okay. Just struggle with it a little bit and see what happens. And if nothing happens, try again, make the call again, and then if nothing happens the second time, just set it aside and try it again the next day. That would be my suggestion. But for the most part, you make the call, you try your best to pronounce this foreign language. Don't expect to pronounce it perfectly. Try like a Latin pronunciation. So if you see the letter A, you say ah. If you see the letter I, you say E. Stuff like that. And just try your best. And just get your feet wet. Just go for it. And the way it would start is, if you're doing the Latin pronunciation, it would be Madriax Diasprof Tex. And that would be it. And then see what happens. Close your eyes. Once you've said the call, close your eyes. Note any changes in your experience, blah, blah, blah. And if nothing happens, okay, try it a second time. And then once you're done with that, if you try it a second time, close your eyes, just observe any experiences. Nothing happens, then try it again the next day. And if nothing happens at all after, trying it, 3-4 times like that, then okay, you've tried it and nothing happens. It's not as much for you. But I do recommend just getting in there, trying that call and getting that consciousness expansion. If you were sick, you might consider like the Angels of Medicine, or if you were in desperate need of funds, you might try, let's say, the Angels of Gold and Precious Metals. But for the most part, there's probably faster ways to go about trying to scratch up money financially. I would probably use a sigil for that. The Angels of Medicine are relatively powerful, but nothing, we are mortal, we don't expect to live forever if you get born into this world. So in that case, you can ask them, and something like the Essential Enochian Grimoire, if you're looking for something like that quickly, that might be the way to do it. But for the most part, I would say, the usual in terms of when it comes to medicine. Talk to your doctors, get second opinions, and stuff like that. But if you're looking for a magical means to get it, nothing's foolproof, but the Enochian Angels of Medicine are relatively good for that. All things being equal, they're better than not having it. Okay. So So that would be my suggestion. Try the consciousness expansion of the Aethyrs first, unless you're in one of those special circumstances. But really do it and struggle with it. Struggle with the language. Struggle with, you know, with whatever it is, how it's supposed to sound, blah, 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 blah. Even I use Aaron Leach's pronunciation. Even I don't pronounce that perfectly. You know, I've been doing this for a while. I'm entering my 5th year straight of working Enochian, and it still doesn't come completely naturally. I'm a human being. It's a foreign language. What are you going to do? So, okay, here's my other cat. Come here, Cordelia. Come here. Good girl. Yes, meow at us. So, anyway, here she is. She's the star now. So, come on. So anyway, I would suggest that. Why? Because you're attuning yourself to a heavenly energy that you are otherwise not really privy to, and it's different from the norm. So try it out. Come here. It's okay. I'm just talking to millions of people. Or dozens. I mean, I've seen the view count, right? Good girl. Come here. Yeah, it's a good girl. Yes, you get to be on camera. It's a good girl. We love you. Good girl. So that would be my recommendation. And why is that? Because the goal for, in my view, of the Enochian is to unlock awareness of reality as it really is, and not a lot of the nonsense narratives that get sort of pushed on us for a variety of reasons. You know, it's sort of like the if you take the old school biblical view of, you know, us being in a corrupt world, you know. Well, corrupt from what? That's the real question. So then you figure out what we're capable of, and how we really ought to be, quote unquote, you know, ought in quotation marks, right? Like a potential, right? You know, there's a reason that phrase, the better angels of our nature survives. So anyway, fries are done, and I'm gonna go scrape them out, stick them into a bowl, and then have something to eat. So love y'all. Talk to you later. But yeah, Essential Enochian Grimoire for Aaron Leach. Any of Scott Stenwick's books. Probably the Heptarchy is the easiest, but I do recommend the Aethyrs. So either Aaron Leach's Essential Enochian Grimoire or Lon Milo Duquette's Enochian Vision Magic for that. All right. Bye.